From a little cover, I got my dreams in sight. Wrestling on the mat, I go and put up a fight. With every hold and slam, I rise to the peak. Now as Professor Bear, it's my strength that they see. Roaring with knowledge like a lion so proud. In this wrestling world, I'm standing out loud. I'm Professor Bear, got the passion to spare. Wrestling's my life, with the power to share. From the roots to ropes, in the spotlight we gleam. Chasing victory dreams, living out the theme. Now my WOSN, my squad.
Yeah. Hey, new beginnings on the cusp. Not too old to adjust. Old dog, new tricks. Remember, I was just a pup. Something dirty in my cup. Clean soul.
With my boys crew, we'll always ride. In the wrestling world, one just claim the prize.
Welcome, and thank you for joining me this evening.
Sure.
I am Professor Bear, and this is a Bear's Thought. Guys, girls, we're just been rolling along with getting to talk to so many different promotions, and we've been having such a fantastic time. At least I know I have, and I'm going to assume you are because you're watching or you're checking out the tape later on. But either way, thank you. Now, I am lucky to have Teddy. Teddy is from I got to excuse me, little like I usually am, but this is Arkansas Wrestling Association. Teddy, how are you doing this evening?
Man, I'm doing great.
That's good. That's good. So before we get started, I want to, because if I don't do it now, I always forget. So I'm going to get it out the way. Guys, girls, you see the logo, which is a crappy version of it, and I should have did better. My apologies to you, Teddy, for that.
Fine,
But
man.
if y'all will look at the QR code, if you scan that QR code, it will take you to their YouTube page, and you can follow their wrestling and get to know their style of wrestling. Now, Teddy, I always ask my guests this question first. How did you become a wrestling fan?
And most of the stories come from, you grew up in this area, you always see the Mid-South wrestling, you see the Memphis wrestling. Nothing like getting up on Saturday mornings watching Channel 5 wrestling. I mean, that's every kid's dream right there is watching Channel 5 wrestling. I mean, that's what was here, and that's, I mean, the Jerry Lawler, the Bill Dundee, the Austin Idols. I mean, the list can just go on and on. I mean, and I guess that's where I felt that, as a kid. I mean, that's where it all came from, growing up watching Channel 5 wrestling and going, of course, we got one of the places here where they used to run. I think they did it like on Tuesday nights at one time. Then they swapped to Friday nights right here in Blytheville. They used to have it down here in Blytheville at all times, one of the territories. So, I mean, he was always able to get close to the action. I mean, it was unbelievable then. I mean, just the wrestling was just amazing.
So, with that being said, your childhood is similar to mine because I'm I lived in Knoxville, Tennessee. What we usually got was Georgia Championship Wrestling,
Yeah,
Continental Championship Wrestling. Um, so it was like you, certain time you knew to be there. And my father was a big wrestling fan, so
yeah,
it was like on Saturday 6:05, you better be quiet or out the house. Either one.
yeah, yeah. Ours was 11 o'clock, I think it was, on Saturday mornings. It was either 10 or 11 o'clock every Saturday morning. We was glued to the TV. I mean, that's where we was.
I I always loved when we would come to Memphis because I was like, oh, I get to watch Memphis wrestling for
Yeah,
at least one time.
yeah,
I loved it, loved it.
right,
So,
right.
how did you go from just being a fan to getting into the wrestling business?
Um, so we had a guy that actually came and worked with us, and um, where it did, he was like, we was doing some cleanup around the station, and me and him was doing it together, and he's like, well, he said, I asked him, I said, what are you gonna do this weekend? And he's like, man, I'm gonna be wrestling this weekend somewhere. I was like, wrestling? I was like, really? And so I asked him, I was like, well, how do I get into that? He said, well, my father-in-law could train you. He said he trains people, and man, I got hooked up with him, and dude, that's how it went. I mean, we trained hard and did what I had to do, and now that's
Guys, there's a little technical difficulties. Hopefully, we'll get it solved real quick and Teddy will be back on. Uh, was having a great discussion to learn how he became a wrestler. So, give us a couple of minutes and he will hopefully be back in here. One of the things that, and here we go. Go.
there we go.
Yep, we're back.
I'm sorry, man. So I get spam risk calls all the time, and it knocked me out of the studio. I'm sorry. So if it
No,
happens,
no.
I apologize to everybody. Uh, my computer's broke right now, so um, but
Hey,
no, man, the guy trained me, and man, we went from there, and then I mean, I started at a little place, did like couple little things, just kind of easing myself into it, and then man, just one night we ended up just he we quit a promotion, and whenever we quit, he was like, man, I'm gonna get something for us, and then we started tagging up, and that's whenever we went back and did the Right Squad, and shoot, we did that for a long time, good 7-8 years running with it, and then and I went and did some singles and traveled around, doing some single stuff, and I quit for a little while. I had some kids, and got away from it, and then about 4 years ago, started up the Arkansas Wrestling Association, and man, here we are now. We run a monthly show now, and we hadn't ran here lately because of the weather, and we usually take November, December off. January's kind of iffy about it. We're supposed to have a show coming up March 7th. We are having some issues with building issues, but man, we're still fighting hard to get this show on the road. But that's about where we stand at on that right now.
so what made you decide I'm gonna do this? I'm gonna be a promoter. It's in me.
Man, so my tag partner, his grandson, was in with some guys that was really doing him like really crappy, and they had asked me to come work a show, and I'm like, man, I don't wrestle no more, and So we ended up doing a show, and then they was like, well, we're going to carry this over. You want to come do this with us over in this other place? And man, they just kept on treating him like real crappy. And I was like, you know what, man? Screw this stuff right here. I said, why don't me and you go in together and let's start a promotion? And we was like, yeah. And then, we had our conflicts, but I kept on running with the AWA. I bought out that half, and pretty much I just kept on running with it. And man, we have pretty decent shows now. And he went from like a crappy show, and we started doing a lot better show. Like our second show together, I mean, we had well over 600 people at the show.
Wow.
Our very first show that we threw together, I mean, we had over 300 at it. And then the summertime kind of set in, started cutting back. And then, so we just said, during the summertime, we have to cut back because these buildings around here that we rent, the air conditioner's not very good in them. So it's hard to run during them summer times.
That's an amazing thing. So, if I was going to ask you, I need your advice. I'm thinking about starting a promotion. What would be your suggestion to me?
Make sure you got plenty of money. And always have somebody that's been around with this for a while that's going to help run this. I mean, because you can't do it by yourself. I mean, it's hard to do it by yourself. Get you a booker and make sure that you have the right wrestlers to do it with. Because I see some of these promotions going across here that just, it is so bad. It's so horrible that, I mean, if we had a way to shut them down, they need to be shut down because they don't need that. So, I mean, it's make sure you promote your wrestlers. Make sure you promoting is like a really big deal. I mean, because no matter what, there's a lot of footwork in that. I mean, you have to, I mean, you get these flyers printed out. I mean, you go out weeks ahead of times before your show. You got to build you a little crew to help you. Because if you don't, I mean, it'll never work. I mean, promoting it, promote. Not only, the mouth is one of the biggest things, is promoting something. Is don't be scared to talk to somebody. Say, hey, man, you like wrestling? Come see us. I mean, I go through stores all through Blytheville, anywhere that's close by. I'm always talking about, talking about our shows, no matter what. I mean, I have it put on the radio. I have it put on. I send out stuff to the schools, and they send out emails. So we really try to promote that out. And then, like I say, your wrestlers. You want to make sure that you have wrestlers that can tell the story, that can make that storyline follow through no matter what, because that's what brings people back, is that storyline.
So, if you had to decide on one or the other, which one would you pick? Would you pick a wrestler that could do storylines good, or would you take a wrestler that is athletic and can move good?
Man, if you could take a wrestler, so I got a few guys. Man, they can wrestle, and they can do anything in a ring. They can tell the story, and about every worker that we really got with the AWA, they can. Most of the guys that we have has been doing like TV and stuff, like things like that. The YouTube channels where it's steadily like a work across there to where it can, and I mean, they can do both. They can wrestle, but it would really be hard because you get one of these old school guys in there that's kind of. I've seen some guys that's not like the better wrestler, like me. I'm not saying I'm the best wrestler, but I try to tell the storyline, because storylines really bring back a lot of stuff. I mean, it brings back um, if they can work the crowd. That's another big thing. Working the crowd over for that storyline. I mean,
That's amazing, Mark. Man, and continue doing what you do. I see you all the time and I appreciate what you do, brother. So continue that, please. We're
I
back.
am so sorry.
You, again, you don't
I'm
have to
sorry.
apologize. I've I've had episodes that has went way worse. So
Well,
you are
man,
okay.
dude, I get these spam calls like really bad, and I get like 20 something spam calls a day.
Oh goodness.
But so I guess what I'm saying is I really like to have somebody that can tell storylines, but make sure that they can still work. I mean, because I don't want somebody that can tell a storyline that can't wrestle. I don't want that. Um, if I'm just going to try to bring somebody in to fill in a gap somewhere, then I would try to bring in an athletic guy that can work that spot for me,
Right.
uh, instead of having, um, just like I'd rather have somebody come in that's more wrestling, more athletic, I guess, on that point of view. But I really like the storylines, but you gotta know what you're wrestling with.
Um, with that being said, and again, I agree with you totally. You definitely have to have both, no matter no matter what. If you have someone who can wrestle but can't do a storyline, that it defeats the purpose, and vice versa.
Yes, yes.
Um, how long out do you plan your storylines?
I'm usually some things happen on the fly, but like as long as everybody is there and as long as everybody's on board, I try to have this out 3 or 4 months ahead of time. In my own head, sometimes a lot of times you have to go on the fly with everything, um, especially in the indie wrestling, because there might be somebody that can't make it there. There
Right,
might be somebody that might have another show that they want to be booked at. That's so I have to kind of stretch it out a little bit, but then I also try to look at the things like my bigger matches that I have. I try to look at those to make sure that they are in line to where, uh, because I also look at the other promotions now. Because we got guys that work at different promotions that's right here in this area. Um, like we got guys that work up in Missouri. We got some that work, and it's just like 20 minutes up the road, 30 minutes up the road. And then we got them, 45 minutes down south, so you still have to kind of work off of their stuff too. Like if somebody, um, if I have the same group of guys, I try to keep like on their storylines also, but also try to do my own style of storylines with that. That way, it
right.
don't all look the same, and it don't look like I'm trying to copy off of somebody else. But so we try to keep it all in line and in order with other promotions also.
And I'm actually glad you said that. Do you um, are you are you open to work with other promotions?
There is some that I I probably would work with. I mean, there is other ones that I wouldn't. Um, I mean, it just depends on who it is. I mean, I guess, um, and how we got to do it, and and we got to be on it with the same. We got to be on the same page with everything. We can't
Right,
be. Um, we're going to say, well, this company's coming in here and they're all going to win. Every guy that we got is going to go down to these guys. I don't want I don't want my guys to look like flunkies. I don't want their guys to look like flunkies. We want the guys to come in and be professional about everything, and match up with who they need to match up with, and what would be best for the two companies.
Right. With that being said, with you being a veteran of the sport and everything, what's something that you see now that you wish was available when you were wrestling?
Well, really, what we're doing right now, this right here, you didn't have this back when I really first started. There wasn't a whole lot of social media about things. I mean, you had to do things by TV, radio, handing out flyers, putting up flyers, um, word with mouth. I mean, that's how it all got out before. I really think the social media really hurt wrestling. I mean, it's because it was never like this before. I mean, it's so open to things now, and
Right.
that really sucks for the wrestlers, especially like the older ones that really didn't mess with the, I mean, because you got some of your top heel guys out here on social media, and that's hard to deal with. That's hard to see. That's what really hurt. That's what hurt this wrestling. I mean, the wrestling's hurt. I mean, but it's still fun though.
So, I talked to another promoter, and I asked him the same advice about starting a promotion, and his answer was, "Don't do it."
Man, dude, that's the reason why the first thing that I said, make sure you got money, because dude, whenever you start getting into into the wrestling, I mean, it's hard to get started. I mean, because you got to have a ring. I mean, yeah, there's people here that rent rings. You can rent buildings. You can rent. I mean, I would rent out my whole setup. I'm in partners with another guy, and now, and I mean, we got ring, we got sound, we got the music. I mean, we got everything that you need. I mean, I'd rent out the whole setup if I had to. I mean, or if you wanted to. I mean, that's the biggest deal. But man, you still got to worry about your concession. You got to still worry about paying your wrestlers. Sponsors. That's like this right here. These people right here, they sponsor me. 181 Partnership. They're one of my bigger sponsors for me. Sponsors. I mean, and have a lot of money.
Yeah. The other thing he told me was, if I got into it to make money, I need to stay out of it.
Man,
He
and
said
that
it's
is
going to take
true. I
a few
mean,
years.
it takes a little bit of time, but that goes back to also promoting. You get the word out. I mean, you'll have the people there. I mean, we have on a regular basis. I mean, we have anywhere from about 100 to 300 people on regular shows at all time, and promoting it. And there's a lot of people that know me around the town, and we put on a pretty decent show. I mean, it's not a bad show. I mean, promoting, man, dude, you can't get that through. There's a couple of people that I see that don't promote, and like right now, I mean, I know I ain't promoted a whole lot about our show. That's just because of the building situation right now. I got to make sure we get the right building for the show, and this is going to be our 4th year doing. We call it Wrestling for a Cause, St. Jude's. I mean, in the last 3 years, I've been sending in over $10,000 and raised up money in the last 3 years. So, and it's something we just want to try to continue doing.
And that's something that I think that every promoter that I've talked to so far, everyone gives back and believes in it so wholeheartedly.
Yes.
Even if they don't make money, they don't care, as long as that cause they're
Yes.
working towards gets that money. And I think that's just something real special about that, because even as an independent, that, like you said, you're not going to make a lot of money at first,
Yeah.
but you're willing to give it for the right cause. And I find that most promoters go and look for causes to give to, like schools and
Yeah.
St. Jude's and things like that. And to me, that's what makes wrestling just so much special,
So
because no matter if you're a casual fan or a lifelong fan, you know, when some event like that, you try to do everything
oh,
you can to
yeah.
help.
Yeah. We got let's see, March 14th. I know it ain't been promoted out yet, but March 14th we're gonna have so there's some kids that was in a real bad car wreck over here. One of them died, and we got one that's still in the hospital real bad. And there was also another guy that had passed away that actually hit them. And we're doing a fundraiser. There's like 4 companies that's going in together to do this show on March 14th. So we got like a few companies actually coming together and doing one big show right here in the county. I mean, we got it's us. There's a place over in Hoxie, OCW. I want to say Wild Card Wrestling's coming in. I think they said APW from down there around. If I'm not mistaken, I think they said APW. But there's like 4 or 5 companies that's coming together and doing this show for these kids.
And see, stuff like that is just amazing. Even if uh you all don't, I don't know y'all situations, but just say y'all all didn't get along. Y'all, you stay yours, I stay mine. But y'all, like, okay, we put this crap aside because it's something we
Yeah,
truly believe in.
yeah, and that's um, being in wrestling. I mean, it's hard because everybody's got their own opinions. But whenever it comes down to something like this, you would be amazed at how many people actually come out. Um, that's like we had my house caught on fire, not this past Thanksgiving, but Thanksgiving before, and this Osceola MCW, they actually came together and actually did a show for us and raised money, helped raise money for us. So
Well,
I mean, it's one company looking out for another. And, you know, as long as everybody can get along, that's the biggest part. Is there's a lot of promotions right here in this area, and it's hard for everybody just to get along. But
and
I mean, it'll all come together.
I think for me too, I see different things like that. Like, for instance, the NWA champion Silas Mason, his house caught on fire, and me and him talked, and he was like, he told his girlfriend, he's like, "Don't worry about it. Wrestling got us. There's too
Yeah,
many people that will help take care of us and get us back on our feet." And I mean, he was 100% right. Everybody
yeah,
who could did, and that's something that, again, what I love
yeah,
about wrestling is
yeah,
we can put silliness aside for at
yeah. Oh
least
yeah, most definitely.
for a day to help people.
Yeah, yeah, and that's something that can be done. I mean, it's sometimes that's a hard lump to swallow, but it's good the way that they do come together, man. These guys, a lot of these guys will come do anything for something like that. I mean, it's amazing how much you can get from a couple of companies coming together and raising money for anything. I mean, that's and we actually have, you know, like we've had some people um, reach out to us for fundraisers, and we've done a few. We've done them emergency squad here in town. We've raised money for the football team here in town. Um, St. Jude every year we do some free shows I mean, they pay us, but we do some free shows out here in the community just to throw our name out there and to put on a good time for these people. And I mean, my guys always show up, and if our guys ain't there, we always got somebody else that's willing to come in and help us out.
So, going back to the subject of the internet and things, um, I one thing I personally like is that wrestlers have such an amazing way to promote themselves,
Oh
and
yeah,
it's like you have you as I had a conversation with a particular wrestler, and I told him, I'm like, if you are not thinking of yourself as a business, you're doing yourself a disservice.
yeah,
I
yeah,
there's too many places out here, and you have all the YouTube, Facebook,
oh yeah,
all this where you should learn how to promote yourself and get
yeah,
your name out there where maybe
yeah,
another promotion may see you and want to bring you in. Promote, and believe. If you don't believe in yourself, why would anybody else?
yes. That is something. And I know some guys that, I mean, they really push themselves. I mean, they got their own Facebook, but they also got with their wrestling. They got that, and I mean, and they'll act. They keep it in character no matter what. No matter what, whether if it's in the wrestling show, if they come out to talk to fans, I mean, because they was some heels which turned babyface, and but no matter what, they will come out now and they will still interact with them, but they still keep their character no matter what. They don't come out of character at all. Um, and I know a lot of guys, especially your old school guys, is still no matter what. I mean, you don't ride with them somewhere. You don't go with them to other places. You don't meet up with them. You go your separate ways, and then maybe later on down the road you can meet up. But it's the social media has killed wrestling, but it's also brought to other standards of promoting yourself, like you say. Um, and man, if you want to make it into it, I mean, you got to grind hard because there's a lot of talent out here on social media now that can be so much better than what you're promoting. I mean, so no matter what, you got to make everything look presentable. I mean, make it. You do your videos, your promo's a big thing. The all your promo pictures. You need all of that to be perfect. I mean, I'm not saying that it has. It just depends on how much of a level you're trying to go at. If you don't want to make it much, you don't promote yourself that much, or you just do it however. Like you take a picture and up against a tree or something, but a lot of your more better people that wants to get their stuff out there has got professional pictures made. I mean, and that's the way you got to do it.
I really enjoy um, that there are guys and girls out here that really still, even like you said, kayfabe is dead, but you
Yeah,
can't tell them that because they stay in character, they continue to work.
yeah,
One of the biggest compliments I ended up giving a wrestler, he was working and he really wanted to talk to me, and the match he was seconding someone, so he's doing his ringside things, antagonating fans. He sat a couple of chairs down from me, and he kind of just really he was doing his character so much so that I legitimately thought about punching him in the face. That, that's how well he was doing it. Now,
yeah,
and he said something to me, but it was real low and I couldn't make it out. So but I thought, man, he is a damn good heel because I just really want to punch him.
yeah,
So
oh yeah,
after the match, I'm standing around talking, and he comes out And he was like, "Oh man," he said, "I'm glad you stayed. I really wanted to meet you, like your stuff and everything when we were talking." And I told him, I said, "Man, you are really good." I said, "Look, I know wrestling pretty well, and I know what's
Yeah.
work and everything." I said, "But legitimately, when you sat beside me, I really thought about punching you." And he's like, "Oh man, he's like, that's the best compliment anybody gave me in a quiet mind."
Yeah.
And I love that because when you can make us smart guys have emotion, you draw something out of us, then I know you are doing your job. You're
Yeah.
working well. And I love to help guys and girls succeed to do different things. So
Yeah.
it is such an amazing thing to just see when athletes are just giving their all.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That is. I mean, there's I've met a lot of young ones. Since I've came back, and man, just seeing the wrestling now. Um, I mean, just seeing how it's all changed so much. Since I have came back. I mean, I mean, some of it's pretty cool. I mean, some of these guys are really talented that they got now, and man, there's some guys that I see that's very, very talented that just don't want to push themselves to the next level, but then they cry about whenever they don't want to be put under on a match because they are better than that. But whenever you don't promote yourself to that standard, then why would a promotion actually put you over on something? Whenever you don't want to promote yourself.
Yep, and do the work. Um, it's an amazing, I, and maybe it's me not really fully being in wrestling, but something that I see some of my favorite wrestlers, or they, no matter where they landed on the card, they gave you their all.
Yes.
One person comes to mind immediately is Arn Anderson.
Oh yeah.
Arn was never a world champion, but he worked like a world champion. Any
And
title he got his hands on, it felt important. No
yes.
matter
Yeah.
if he was the first show, in the last, in the middle, if he had to work two or
It didn't
three
matter.
spots,
Yeah.
nothing changed about his work. He was a professional.
Yeah. Um, that's just like with man. We was leading up to a big match and down here last year, and like my top guys, um, they was going to be into the main event, and they was like, man, dude, really and truthfully, we shouldn't be main event because this has been brought up to you. I know that I'm not the best wrestler, and I know I'm not the greatest thing. It meant a lot to me. These guys coming up and saying, "Hey, man, why don't you put y'all into the main event, man?" Because I've been gaining so much weight since I came back. It's a lot rougher on me.
Right.
I mean, but these guys, they're veterans. I mean, and they said, "Hey, man, why don't you do it like this then?" Instead, y'all need to be main event, because this is what the people came here to see is this match. So why don't we change those matches around and make y'all into the main event? And man, it went over so good. And I mean, and having those guys come up here and saying that, and I got my son. He's actually starting to referee. He's been refereeing for a couple of years now, and seeing these veteran guys, some of these guys get on to him. And he don't, he's a kid still. So I mean, he's still young. Which his birthday is tomorrow. He'll be 15. Happy early
Oh,
birthday, dude. But seeing one of the old school vets, just take him off to the corner and just put their arm around him and just sit there and talk to him, and he listens to that. And we've had some guys that come in there and just yell at him because he messed up in a spot, and then you see the veterans come up behind him and like, hey man, this is what you got to do. This is how you do this. this is how you make yourself better. And he has, he's really listened a lot. Downtown Bruno is another one that really, and he thinks the world of my son, and you know, and he's gave him a lot of pointers on being referee right now. And man, I mean, these kids got to see more what I have growing up. You know, getting to actually meet them. I mean, my daughter and she's like, "When's my best friend coming over?" And she's talking about Tommy Rich, and you know, that's like her. She calls him her bestie. That's my bestie. So, I mean, it's cool. I mean, wrestling has been so fun. You know, starting to do this as a family. You know, and I mean, my wife runs concession. My daughter runs the doors. My son referees. I wrestle. And then, you know, of course, I got me a new partner, and I've known him for a long time. And man, just doing this right here as a family has been just a blessing to us, man. And getting to meet so many people, you know, like Rock and Roll Express, hanging out with those guys, and you know, just all these people you just get to really meet and talk to, and the things that you get to do. It's fun.
I tell you, that's something why I love indie wrestling, because it's I call it's a family reunion.
Yeah. Yes.
All the people you get to meet and find out you have so much in common that you generally start caring for them. And let's say you miss a few shows. When you show back up, everybody, hey, you okay? I hadn't
Yeah.
seen you. That's not like you. What's going
Yep.
on? And
Yep.
that for me just makes it even better when I go to indie shows. It's I get so much thrill of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
It is. I mean, because man, whenever there's a guy like Motley Crue, I hadn't seen Motley in like a really long time, and he got put into the Missouri American Hostile Championship Wrestling. He got put into their Hall of Fame last year, and you know, of course, Mark Manley, he's the one that owns that. He said, "Hey, man, we're doing an outside show. Why don't you come up here and run this music? Will you run this music for me, and you know, bring your sound equipment if you don't mind?" And man, I helped him out, and then coming in and seeing Motley sitting over there in a corner, man, you know, just haven't seen him in some years, and it's just like, man, we just laughed and smiled and talked about how we're getting old, and that's always fun to catch up.
one of my blessings that I've got to meet a lot of my wrestling idols, and you talked about Bruno. Me and he did a podcast for me, and it's amazing where I can actually call him and me and him have conversations, and
Yeah,
it's just I never thought I would be this blessed on getting to be into the sport I loved since I was a kid. If
yeah,
my father was alive, still alive, I know he would be proud of me and wanting certain things, and he would keep telling me, "Boy, you keep doing what you're doing. You all right. You'll be okay. You'll get better."
yeah. One thing I do got, so the guy that keeps on popping up, that Mark McGee,
Yes,
he's a man, dude. I'm gonna tell you, if you ever need some help promoting some stuff, that dude right there, he's from up in from New York, and you know, he's done been down a couple times to our shows. Hey, man, he runs that Markomania,
yes,
and dude,
yes.
he is. I just seen him been texting on. I can't really see it that good because of my eyes ain't that great. So, but man, dude, he's a good one to to really help promote stuff in that Markomania. So if you ever want
Yeah.
to try to help stuff, you can go in there, man. And that's reached over to a lot of folks. Um, man, he does a lot of helping out and promoting some guys also. So, you know, if he ever wants to try to, if you know somebody ever, you know, that wants to try to get into a group that's pushing people, that guy right there, that Markomania, send them over to that group and just start sharing stuff in that. and give him a like button and follow him or whatever. It's pretty cool. He promotes a lot of people, man.
Yes, he do. Matter of fact, when your phone went down the first time, I got to talking about him, and I always see him doing something for the wrestlers and
Yes.
promotions, and I really do enjoy him and thank him all the time. Because
Yeah.
anytime I put something up, I send it to him. He always lets me promote there, and
Oh
like
yeah.
I said, he's really a great guy.
Yeah. Yeah. But well, dude, I'm not trying to cut things short, but my
No,
battery is like at 9%.
understand,
So,
but
is there anything important that you would like to ask me?
well, it's not important to ask, but it's something I would love to tell you. I'm a big firm believer in giving people flowers because a lot of times when people get flowers, they're gone, and they can't hear it and enjoy it. I want to give you your flowers, not for only what you're doing today, but what you did in the past, what you're going to do in the future, because I know wrestling is in a great place, and with people like yourself, that your love and passion shines through what you do. You need to hear how much not only me, not only my fans, not only your fans, but everybody appreciate pre- we appreciate you, and
Yeah.
we want more success for you.
Well, I appreciate that a lot. It's I mean, yeah, we try our best. I know we don't run just all the time, but we do try our best to do. Whenever we run a show, we try to do our best that we can do. So,
Understandable. Well, friend, go ahead. I understand. It's no problem. Um, I'm just gonna tell everybody, thank y'all for watching.
yeah, thank you.
Um, Definitely go check out Arkansas Wrestling Association. Um, and as I always say, go and support your local promotion. Man, you don't know how much it means for the promoters, the wrestlers, knowing that y'all support them. Do that. You'll get such a great time, and you can actually go in with money and come out with money because they're reasonably priced. So
Yes. Oh yeah.
if you're going to give your money to wrestling, give it to an indie promotion. That's what
Yeah.
I say.
Yeah. Thank you.
With with that being said, I am Professor Bear. This has been a Bear's Thought, and we will see you around the campfire very, very soon. Y'all take care.